It's more than a technical glitch when it brings a network of that size and complexity down to its knees, and they have to close for 3.5, 4 hours. I would say that it was a little bit more than that, and I don't know what it exactly was, but I can tell you this. They're saying it was a software update. Complex networks of this size often have a test environment in where they do updates to find out that there are no glitches in it before they actually release that into the live environment.
They secure the environment of the initial
totally separate
application
environment
of the software.
They also have redundant systems in environments like this where if one side goes down, the other side goes up, and hopefully they didn't do the update at both sides. Multiple distribution paths for power, multiple distribution paths for connectivity. I don't know what it was, but I'm very suspicious of this technical glitch, they say.
Yeah, all right, I am too. And joining us now is Ed Butowsky, Managing Partner, Chapwood Capital Investment Management. Check out edbutowsky.com. Hello, Ed.
Hello, thanks for having me on today.
My pleasure. In and of itself, if it happened in the vacuum of just the New York Stock Exchange, it would still be difficult, to me as a layman, to buy into the explanation they've given. But considering that there was a tweet, apparently, or some kind of message from Anonymous about 14 hours prior saying, I hope tomorrow's not a bad day on the New York Stock Exchange, and coupled with United Airlines and even the Wall Street Journal, are we really to believe that this was just a software update or a glitch?
Yeah, I got to say, Steve, I've been at this business a long time, and the computer systems have only gotten better and bigger. And if you want to accept that this was just a computer glitch, then you are willing to accept just about anything. There's absolutely no way that this was just a glitch from uploading software. This was far and away, and I have friends at Homeland Security, and I have friends in the technology group at the New York Stock Exchange that I worked with at Morgan Stanley in the past. This was a virus that got into the system, and as soon as you know that the president's been alerted and you start hearing of these things, you know there's more to it. It got contained. People believe it was either Russia or China. This happens all the time, not just to the New York Stock Exchange, but to computer systems everywhere. So the gentleman who was talking before I came on said it beautifully. They test these things and they test them. I mean, the New York Stock Exchange, Steve, is probably one of the most important computer systems in the world. You don't have a bunch of rinky-dinks out there just, hitting, upload and open in Safari. This is a major deal, putting something in there. So absolutely, it was a virus. Absolutely, we're going to see this more and more in the future. And
if it happens again this week, next week, to either the NYSE or the wherever, the Nasdaq, how much will that rile the markets?
Well, that's the thing. I believe that it will affect the markets to a degree. But anything that happens, depending on what it might be, they'll be able to take a snapshot on where things were at that moment. But it will start to hurt individual investors' confidence. You just saw a report a couple of minutes ago about how many, IDs were stolen from the Navy. I mean, we now have major issues around here, and everyone is uncomfortable about doing anything on their computer. And will people not buy into the overall markets because of this? No.
Well,
okay. Will people become more jittery? Of course.
Maybe Iran will do us a favor, launch the EMP attack, and take down the whole grid and knock us all out. All right, only being facetious there, of course, but that is a big risk. Okay, China. Yes. Speaking of big risks, what does China's market collapse mean, or for us, or say to us, in your view?
Yeah, and it's a great question. The analogy that's probably best to use is you have to think about the world economy as a 747 where you have four major economic engines. China, Japan, and India, you put into one group, one of those engines. And China's market falling as it has, there's a couple things there. One, it was up a lot higher than it should have been. Two, it is the second largest economy in the world, and we are way past just a normal correction. They have major structural problems there, and it's going to last for a long time. And that engine hurting, along with the European engine hurting, is going to keep this world economy very, very slow. So should people be worried about what's happening in China? Yes, they absolutely should, because as their economy suffers, their exports suffer, but more importantly, their consumption suffers, which hurts our stock prices.
And the band-aids that the the band-aids that the communist government has put on it, not being allowed to trade for X amount of time, blah blah blah. That's just a very weak band-aid, right?
Yeah, completely. Anytime you have the government coming in, getting involved, the Chinese government, the United States government, the European Central Community, whatever it might be, you know what? It's not good. All right. The way capitalism works, it's a natural supply and demand. And when you have the Communist Party coming in, or them saying you can't trade on this day or that day, you know what? You got big problems there.
All right, Ed, great to talk to you, sir. As always, thank you very, very much for your insight.
Great. Thanks, Steve.
All right, we're going to be talking to Ed again down the road very soon. All right, folks, coming up, much more of the Steve Malzberg Show. And it's very interesting. Between Greece and China, I mean, is there anything that excites you to say, I got to get in this market because, boom, I don't want to miss it? Or maybe it's just the reverse. We're coming back. Don't go away.